Hitting the pause button on this testimony. We're in the middle of cross-examination. Let's see what our guest who's standing by thinks about how it's going. Joining us from Santa Fe, New Mexico, trial attorney, former deputy district attorney in northern New Mexico, John Day, is with us. John, what do you think of this case, especially when we've got all of these medical terms coming in through this doctor that might be a little difficult for jurors to follow, but do you think it's going to mean the difference for them between attempted murder and assault?
Right. Well, thanks for having me. So what we know about this case is it's a Shakespearean tragedy. It's Romeo and Juliet playing out. Parents unhappy with the daughter's boyfriend. It leads to violence. In this case, nobody died, unlike the play. But what we're hearing from this doctor is what the prosecution wants to use to lay the foundation before the jury. It may be dry, it may be clinical, but the prosecutors want to make sure the jurors understand how dangerous and how serious the assault was on Fatima and how close she was to having much more serious injuries. So it may be a little dry, maybe a little clinical, but it's laying the groundwork for the closing argument where the prosecutors say yes for the father, attempted murder, and then the assault charge on the mother.
John, when defense counsel is able to elicit testimonies from the doctor in which he's saying, well, yes, she was not getting worse, is that helpful to the defense?
It's what they have to do, and it's all that they have. It's the only card, really, that the defense lawyers can play, because they want to raise some type of doubt in the minds of the jurors that it was as serious as the prosecution says it was. But, you know, jurors tend to listen to these medical experts. They tend to have a certain amount of faith in them. The credibility of the experts can be really hard to shake under defense cross.
Oh, yeah, and we'll hear a little bit more of that cross when we come back. But when we come back, we are going to switch gears for a moment because we do want to head to Florida. We are understanding that things are about to start. There are the cameras live in the Stephen Stearns case, this plea hearing that came out of nowhere when we thought that we were going to have a sexual abuse trial starting this week. We anticipate he's going to be pleading guilty to the charges against him. More on that on the other side.
We're taking a live look inside that courtroom in Florida right now. The hearing is expected to get underway just in about 15 minutes. Cody Thomas is there. He's going to bring us all the latest details. But as we wait for that hearing to get underway, let's bring in trial attorney John Day. John, we had thought this was going to be a trial. Now we're expecting a plea today. What are your thoughts on this case?
Well, you know, what does Stearns get? With his guilty plea, he avoids the death penalty. What does the prosecution get? What does the state get? They get a guaranteed conviction. They can avoid years of appeals, and they can avoid the uncertainty of something happening at trial. I mean, it's chilling to see Stearns in those videos right after Madeline disappears, when he is trying to dissemble, trying to lie, trying to say things like, you know, he didn't know what happened to her. So when you look back in time and look at that, it's blood curdling. But what happens now is Stearns gets a guaranteed, if the judge accepts the plea, that is. Judges don't have to accept that plea. But if he does get that plea, then Stearns has life in prison, avoids the death penalty. The state gets a guaranteed conviction and avoids years of appeals.
Yeah, we'll be listening for that being said on the record. We know there has been local reporting. Their sources have let them know that the death penalty has been taken off of the table, and we're working to confirm that that is the case, because, John Day, there have been situations, especially in Florida, where sometimes the death penalty is something that prosecutors don't have an option of taking off just because of some of the political pressures there in that area, where we will see defendants plead guilty to avoid the guilt phase, but will still have a penalty phase. It's happening right now in a case that we're covering, the Shelby Neely case, where he pleaded guilty to 4 killings in Florida, 3 for this trial, but he is only dealing with the penalty phase. Do you think there's a chance that this could be a situation where Stephen Stearns may want to avoid the penalty phase, or rather the guilt phase, and only go forward with the penalty phase?
Right. The defense is grasping at what they can. I mean, it's a horrible case. The video, the digital record of the abuse of young Madeline, you know, would have been so damning at trial for Stearns, of course. But the fact that the police uncovered that trove of digital evidence showing the abuse taking place certainly indicated to the defense team that they better do whatever they can, in their view, to try to save him from the death penalty.
We have some jailhouse phone calls between Stephen Stearns and his parents, one of which is them talking about the death penalty. John, we're going to go ahead and play that, and then I'm going to talk with you about it on the other side.
The murder charge aside, I mean, you're pretty much on the other side.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to confirm or deny anything one way or the other. I'm trying to hold on to hope as best as I can and see how the cards fall out here. They filed this morning to seek the death penalty.
Yeah.
How are you guys holding up?
Well, we're just waiting for this to play out. So, you know.
Yeah.
So, Debbie, your mother said that you were officially charged with murder. I didn't know about seeking the death penalty. I didn't hear that.
Well, it won't happen for a long time, according to your attorney, if at all. And from what we heard, your judge does not like the death penalty. He thinks it's too lenient, and he would rather have you in jail for the rest of your freaking life.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I'd rather have you on death row because you're in more seclusion and you're not really with the bulk of the population of the people.
Well, I hate to say it, but I'd rather be on death row too because I agree with him. It's a much easier way out.
Wow, I hadn't heard that phone call before, so just hearing it for the first time. I mean, what a difficult conversation for the parents to have with their son. Just horrible situation. Obviously, if he's guilty, and we're hearing he's going to plead guilty, he did terrible, terrible things. John, what's your takeaway from that phone call?
You know, these jailhouse calls are always an amazing amount of information for the prosecution, for law enforcement, because these are sort of calls, you know, between these parents who are apparently trying to grasp in their minds what situation their son is in. Then you've got this real sort of detached response from Stearns talking to his parents. I mean, they could be talking about, you know, anything else in their world, but now they're talking about the son facing these charges for murder. And it's you get the sense from listening to the parents in that they're just trying to grasp what has happened. And Stearns is pretty matter of fact about it. I mean, he's not optimistic about his future, but that's the thing. These calls are recorded. Defense lawyers tell their clients all the time, don't talk on the phone about anything except the weather. But when they are recorded like this, it gives us some insight into the minds of these people charged with these incredibly horrible crimes.
Well, yeah, and you wonder what his worry is, John, because he's saying, I'd rather be on death row. His mom's saying she wants him away from the population. But when you remember what kind of charges he is facing and expected to plead guilty to, it's not the situation that he'd want to be in, Jim Papa. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is a strategy session between the parents, and they understand that if he's in prison with a child murder, with a child abuse jacket, that's in a way that's a death penalty imposition in itself in prison. Because if that's what you're convicted of, if that's what you've pled guilty to, you want to be separated as much as possible from the general population.
John, I want to play another jailhouse phone call for you. This is when the parents are talking with him initially and asking about, well, why would something like this happen? People are thinking that we abused you. Let's play that.
Just that, you know, they say that sometimes when you know, like children, that you have been an abused child, and it was intimated that perhaps we had abused you in some way.
No, he has never did. And strictly speaking, I'm not actually into younger people like that. As you know, I don't even like most kids, so it's just hard to feel a generalized attraction towards any of them.
Was it just her, or with other people as well?
I can't get into specific details, but no, it was not a thing with anybody. It was
All right, got it.
But I don't want to get too much into details. Or
Yeah, I know.
confirm or deny anything officially, anything that could possibly be used against me. I mean, I haven't seen the inside of a courtroom yet, so it'd be kind of stupid to be making anything that could be construed as an admission of guilt.
Now the parents there just trying to process everything.
Yeah, you know, what we don't hear from Stearns is, hey, mom and dad, I didn't do it. I mean, if you're accused of something you didn't do and you're talking to your parents, those are really the first words that are going to come out of your mouth. So this was a very clinical sort of strategy session. The mom is asking about, you know, could it have been something we did? And he's saying, I can't really get into it. I can't confirm. I mean, it's almost like answering at a press conference. It's so clinical, so detached, and so disturbing.
Yeah, it's like he's being guarded with his words, but still what's coming through is chilling. That response to whether or not there are others, we don't know, and we will see if anything like that gets talked about inside of this plea hearing. You see, we've still got our cameras there on the seal. When they start, we will take you inside. So we will take our break now. When we come back, more coverage of the Stephen Stearns plea hearing happening in Florida.
Let's bring in John Day, trial attorney, still with us as we watch this hearing take place and unfold before us. Stephen Stearns there, the judge accepting the plea. John, what are your thoughts?
Judge accepted the plea for the defendant. Death penalties off the table, guaranteed life in prison without the possibility of parole. You always wonder what is going through the defendant's mind. Is it a sense of relief, knowing his future? But more significantly, what's going through the minds of the victim's family? Is it relief that they got closure? Did they get the justice they wanted? Do they have to face a trial and the possibility of years of appeals? So it's always a question, how do the victims' families feel at that moment when they see the plea being accepted?
Oh, yeah, I've got a lot of questions about the main victim family member here, and that's the mother of Madeline Soto. We have to take a break. John Day, thank you for your analysis, but certainly we'll be asking that question. Is Jen Soto inside of this courtroom, and could she be seeing the inside of a courtroom in a different way now that Stearns has taken a plea?